Hi, welcome back to the Game Engine Diary. My name is K Hart, and I'll be taking you through a little bit of the progress that I made with my game engine. So it's actually been a while since I've actually done any game development. I'm at a public university, especially a very populated public one, so it's very hard to maintain a balance between academics, extracurricular activities, everything else, and game development all at once. But I did find some time throughout the quarter, to actually continue on with game development. There's just been a lot of midterms that have been occurring seemingly every freaking week, and it's just hard to actually find some time to sit down and continue my game development. So before we begin, I actually want to show off what I have to you so far. So let's actually start the game, or start the engine, sorry. And as you can see, I'm not sure if I actually showed my engine last time, but this is what I have so far. This bunny over here is actually a non-playable character, and when you collide with a non-playable character, a text box will show up. The text box right now is just a black rectangle that's transparent. This Mario over here is just an enemy, and when you collide with an enemy, something will happen, but I haven't implemented that functionality yet. This Mario over here is actually an NPC, and when you collide with it, another text box will show, and then it will begin some conversation with you. The red box with the W is just a warp. When you collide with the warp, you're going to be resetting your position all the way to 0, 0, and you will continue. As you can see, it really doesn't take you anywhere. I just want to see if it'll work. And apparently it does work, so I'm going to be messing around with it later to see if I can add any more cool things like warp you from one level to another. These red bricks over here that you see is just a hard object. So when Mario needs to not go through something that is not meant to go through, if that makes sense, a hard object will be laid in that position. And when Mario collides with that hard object, you're going to stop his position. So as you can see, I'm colliding and I can't go through. And the sliding thing is a major bug I need to fix. It's not like I implemented like a coefficient of friction of 0 or anything like that. It's just I don't know. I'm just going to have to fix it later. It'll probably be one of those bugs that I might just hard code in, and it'll be really sloppy, but it'll get the job done. But I'll fix it perfectly over the long run. And as you can see, as I move towards the outer edges of the image or the background, you can see the background protruding away or through within the screen, and I'll probably be binding it more tightly later. But the implementation that I do have now, Mario can't go through the screen or anything like that. It's just the velocity of the background. It does change, but it doesn't change back before I let the next image for the next frame, if that makes sense too. So this is the rest of the desert screen. I'm just going to walk around a bit, and then I'll walk back here. Another great thing that I also implemented is the transition between one level to the next. It's not fully implemented yet, but I have a great idea of how to do this. One of my favorite game RuneScapes probably implements this, right? So when you go from like a door, when you go through a door, or go through a warp or something like that, when you change locations from one place to another, you're usually going to see something like this. Especially like for cutscenes. How that really works is I have one image in the back, and I have an alpha blending rectangle that's always there, but it's usually the alpha value is always 0. And when I press a key, it's going to begin that transition, and the alpha will continue to increase all the way to 255 until it's completely black. And when it's black, I'll switch out everything, and I'll decrease the alpha until 0. It's just like theater, right? So you're going to see the play, and when they want a scene change, they want to close the curtains, switch all the scenery in the background so the audience can't see it, and they're going to reopen the curtains after everything's already been set up. That's exactly how I implemented it, and I find that a pretty good analogy. As you can see, though, all the NPCs, enemies, warps, and hard objects are still in this level. Just for the transition that you see here, the only thing I really changed it was just to change any background to this background. I didn't change the level, however, later sometime this week or month, or whenever I get a chance, probably even like this weekend, I will be switching out entire levels. We'll which will be switching out everything pertaining to that level. So what stuff are in my level? Let's go to my newly revamped level class. My level class now has a vector of objects, NPCs, warps, enemies, anything that I need, and a player pointer. So if I want to say this level must have these certain items, I will easily be able to do it through the functionality that vector gives me. Pushbacks, pop-backs, and anything else that I need to switch out items. And I'll probably be explaining that more in detail when I actually create a new level. There's just some more functionality in here, such as like collision between the player, NPC, player, and hard object, as you've already seen, player and enemy, which I have not yet included anything into the functionality, and player and warp, which you've already seen too. And there's also functionality that the level gives, such as like add a player, add an NPC, add a warp, add enemy, and each level has their own background level background. Text box. As you saw, it was the little black rectangle that you saw. So this is that's what the text box looks like, and here's just a little bit of the functionality behind it. So to some text, the text box sprite will always have this text box, and this is just a test. And it'll also have the alpha value of 100, so it gives a little bit of that cool, transparent look. There's also a set X, set Y, get Y, and get X. Get X and get Y is usually just for blitting the text box upon the screen, and set X and set Y is just there so when you collide with an NPC, you'll be able to change the text box around, and it won't look weird. Especially if you just want text box to be located in different parts of the screen. It's very, very useful to have it like this. And just to give you more insight to this, let's actually go to the collision between a player and the NPC. As you can see, the text box will set its X to the NPC's sprite, ret X plus 50. Same thing over here, ret Y plus 50. The warp has similar aspects. Here's the entire collision, which I'll probably be condensing into a more general collision later, but I just had to hard code it in just to see if it would work. And if the player does collide with the warp, it's going to set its location to whatever warp's go-to X is. And for this particular warp, I had its go-to X as 0 and its go-to Y as 0 too. So I guess that's about all I want to show you at the moment. There's still lots to cover. However, I want to show you more and all that when the next video of the series come out. Thank you for watching. My name is K-Hearts, and please continue to watch these videos as I continue my own adventure of my first game engine series. This will be my diary. Once again, thank you for watching.